Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. Thank you all for attending today's Planning Commission meeting. The commission is convening today to discuss several matters. The commission is required to review these items. Our vote will advise the mayor and council prior to their actions. The bills on our agenda will also be reviewed at various council committees and city council where the meetings will be held publicly. So today, please be respectful of the process and all the individuals participating in this meeting. We appreciate the dedication and the enthusiasm that everyone's giving to this process. Please be aware that while anyone can speak about an agenda item, staff and commissioners might not respond to every question or comment. And during public comment, please only speak to the agenda items that are being reviewed. Please do not restate comments or questions that other members of the public have already commented on. The commission may request that comments from the public be limited in time so that everyone may have a chance to participate. And finally, I also want to take the time to thank the staff for putting these meetings together. I will now call this meeting to order and hand it back over to the staff to start the meeting. Giving it to Dave.
Thank you, Chair, and I appreciate the introduction. Everyone, thank you. Your safety is important to us. You are currently in room 18029. If there is an emergency, please listen to announcements on the loudspeaker, which will provide safety information. If you do not hear an announcement, please follow the directions of security officers and City Planning Commission staff. There are two doors along the side wall to your left. These doors lead to the elevator lobby. If an order is given to evacuate the room, the nearest stairway is to your right once you reach the lobby. Follow the exit signs to reach the stairway. If an order is given to evacuate the building, the rally point is at Love Park. Please remain at the rally point so that we can account for you. Restrooms are in the lobby across from the elevators. And now I'll turn the meeting over to Nate Dorfman, who will give us some instructions on how today's meeting will be conducted.
Welcome to the June 4th, 2026 Philadelphia City Planning Commission meeting. I'm Nate Dorfman with the Planning Commission staff, here to review some brief housekeeping procedures for today's meeting. During the meeting, each agenda item will be presented by a member of the Planning Commission staff. Following each presentation, the chair will ask the commissioners for questions or comments. The chair will then ask the audience for questions and comments. After that, the commissioners will finish their discussion and vote. If you would like to speak during an agenda item's public comment period, click or tap on the raise hand button on the menu bar on the bottom of your screen at any time during that agenda item. You will be called on by the chair and have the opportunity to speak to the commission and the audience. If you're calling into the meeting by phone, you can press *9 to raise your virtual hand to speak. Please use the Q&A function only if you have questions about the meeting process. Please do not use it for testimony. This meeting is being recorded and will later be posted to our website. If you are in our audience in person, please come to the table when the chair asks for public comments. Write your name on the paper provided, turn on the microphone, and speak to the commissioners. Thank you for joining us today. And now I'll turn the meeting over to Jesse Lawrence, the commission chair.
Thank you so much, Nate. I will now call roll to the commissioners present. Commissioner Clinton.
Present.
Commissioner Brown.
Present.
Commissioner Wilson. Present. Commissioner Gonzalez.
Present.
And I believe we have quorum. We have another step to complete in a second. We have approval of minutes in front of us. We have a pair of minutes, actually, March 10th and April 16th. Hopefully, commissioners have had a chance to review these minutes from the meeting of March 10th and April 16th. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented for the meetings of March 10th and April 16th?
Motion to accept minutes.
We have a motion on the table,
Second.
properly seconded by Commissioner Clinton. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you so much. And now I'm pleased to announce that we have a new commissioner, which we'll swear in, Darlene Threet. Great, got it. Darlene will be joining us as a land use attorney, filling that role on the commission. I believe, Darlene, you will repeat after me in the oath of swearing in. Yeah, I don't know if we have a Bible or anything. But repeat after me, Darlene. I do solemnly affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth and the Philadelphia Home Rule Charter, and that I will discharge the duties of the Philadelphia City Planning Commission with fidelity. Welcome to the commission, Darlene. Thank you so much. All right, I'll now chair it over to our executive director, who will give us this month's report. Director Howe.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Commissioners and members of the public. Thanks for joining us. My name is Octavia Howell, Executive Director of the Philadelphia City Planning Commission. We'd like to take a moment to recognize a staff member who has made crucial contributions to this city, Donna J. Carney, the founding director of the Philadelphia Citizens Planning Institute. As many of you know, CPI is the education and outreach arm of the Planning Commission. It began in 2010 as the city was undertaking major zoning code reform and beginning the first updates to its comprehensive plan in 50 years. Planning Commission leadership recognized the need for a program to help residents better understand planning, zoning, and development, and Donna was the right person to bring that vision to life. Under her leadership, CPI grew from a pilot program rooted in listening to communities across the city into an internationally recognized model for planning, education, and civic engagement. Through CPI, Donna has supported approximately 800 Philadelphians in deepening their understanding of the built environment and strengthening their ability to make a difference in their neighborhoods. The program has attracted a diverse cross-section of residents who care deeply about the future of their communities and as a city as a whole. As Donna prepares for retirement, we owe a debt of gratitude for her vision, dedication, sense of fashion, lifelong learning spirit, and lasting contributions to the City Planning Commission of Philadelphia. We appreciate and celebrate the legacy she leaves through CPI, a program that will continue to educate, connect, and empower Philadelphians for years to come. I don't see Donna in the room, but I just want to say for the record, thank you very much, Donna. It's been a pleasure to work with you over the years. On to our next meetings. The next Civic Design Review Committee meeting will take place on Tuesday, July 7th, 2026 at 1 p.m. We will host a special meeting to review the capital program and budget amendments on Thursday, June 11th at 9 a.m. And our next regularly scheduled City Planning Commission meeting is Thursday, July 16th at 1 p.m. We will host these meetings in person at 1515 Arch Street in room 18029 and on Zoom. This is a reminder that applications for organizations interested in applying to become a registered community organization must be sent to us by June 30th. We sent an email to RCOs who are due for renewal, notifying them about the upcoming registration requirement. We will host 2 free information sessions for RCOs. These sessions will be on June 16th at 6 p.m. and on June 18th at 12 p.m. Both will be held virtually via Zoom, and both sessions will cover the same information. Google Philadelphia RCO to find the RCO site with information on how to register. Please send questions about the registration and renewal process to rco@phila.gov or call the RCO coordinator at 215-683-4646. We have 1 zoning bill and 6 streets bills that meet our policy for administrative approval. Zoning Bill number 260536 extends the expiration date of Bill 200348, approved May 11, 2021. That bill created an overlay to enable construction of a project at 2012 Chestnut Street, the former Housing Authority headquarters. The overlay expired at the end of 2024. This bill will reactivate the overlay to allow the owners to secure permits. The lot is currently vacant. Streets Bill number 260524 fixes technical errors in the bill that the Commission approved last month. That bill, 260463, authorized the administration to strike and vacate portions of Cleveland Street and Stiles Street to allow St. Joe's Preparatory School to build a parking garage and athletic fields. The Commission recommended approval of that bill. The following streets bills meet the city's policy for complete streets. Bill number 260461 allows sidewalk cafes in the Old Richmond neighborhood, East Falls Neighborhood Commercial Area Overlay District, and the Manayunk Special Services District. Bill number 260532 allows a sidewalk cafe at 1639 South 10th Street. A minimum of 5 feet 11 inches of clear sidewalk space is to remain after installation. Bill number 260535 allows a sidewalk cafe at 2101 South 3rd Street. A minimum of 6 feet of clear sidewalk space is to remain after installation. Bill number 260564 allows a sidewalk cafe at 2351 South Front Street. A minimum of 7 feet 6 inches of clear sidewalk space is to remain after installation. Bill number 260566 allows a sidewalk cafe and planters at 6238 Bustleton Avenue. A minimum of 10 feet 6 inches of clear sidewalk space is to remain after installation. That concludes my executive director's update. I'm happy to take any questions and will turn the meeting over to the chair.
Thank you, Director Howell. Any questions for Director Howell on the executive director's report today? All right, seeing none, we will now proceed with the agenda. Much shorter than it was last month. The first action item on the agenda is zoning bill number 260523, and that will be presented by Nathan Grace. Hey, Nathan.
Good afternoon, chairs. My name is Nathan Grace from the Planning Commission staff. This is zoning bill 260523 to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Roberts Avenue, Wissahickon Avenue, Hunter Park Avenue, and Fox Street. This here just shows the timeline for a zoning map change. And this is an aerial view of the properties that are included in the zoning map change. This property is formerly the site of the Budd Company's manufacturing plant, which was a pressed steel fabricator that produced automobiles, railroad cars, and aircrafts into the 1980s. The area has seen decline in industry going back several decades and has transitioned to a mix of commercial uses consistent with this remapping action. And much of this property has been vacant for some time. The developer here has plans for a mixed-use development, which will include biotech research and potentially residential uses. This here is just a street view of some of the renovations that have already been taking place at this property. And this is an image of the interior of a building at the Budd Bioworks that has been prepared for prospective tenants. The current zoning for all these properties is ICMX, industrial commercial mixed use. And we are proposing to rezone the properties to CMX3 mixed use commercial. This proposal is consistent with the citywide vision to reposition former industrial sites for new users, as well as the North District plan to encourage the redevelopment or reuse of underutilized industrial land and buildings within the Hunton Park West industrial area, such as the former Budd Company plant or former Budd Company site. And for these reasons just stated, staff recommends approval of zoning bill 260523.
Thank you so much, Nathan. Any questions for Nathan from the commissioners on the staff recommendation for approval for the zoning bill 260523 as presented? Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes, I have a question. Has the developer shared any other redevelopment plans for this area? I mean, it's an amazing site.
They have not shared that with me. They did state that they would be available for any questions, and they are available.
Sorry, are they online? Oh, okay.
So can they speak to what they are proposing to do?
Sure.
Sure.
Chair, we have one hand raised. Tony, can you please unmute Kevin Greenberg?
Hey, Kevin.
Hello, everyone, and I'm joined by Michael
Kevin,
Davis.
please speak with the commission.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin Greenberg. I'm an attorney for the project. I'm joined by Michael Davis from the ownership group as well. Michael, if you can raise your hand as well, I would appreciate it if staff could unmute Michael in case there are questions I can't answer. Commissioner Gonzalez, thank you for the question. We've been looking at a variety of things. If you look at budbio.com, it's a marketing strategy that's been out to market to try to do biomanufacturing and targeted bio development. We have not yet had the uptake that we would like with this, and so we are still proceeding with that on part of this parcel, but we're looking at other uses for some of the buildings. The one that you have a photo of, what we call Building 1, is ready to use. It has been cleaned, it has been painted, it has been restored. Many of the other buildings have PCBs and other issues that are that are covered by policies and matters that have been negotiated with the EPA and are ready for use. One of the drivers for this is that there is a building at the corner of Wissahickon and Hunting Park that has been discussed for residential use going back to the 1990s when Preferred owned the property. That has emerged as a possibility. It's still a ways from getting done, but at the same time, we wanted to get the zoning undertaken now. It's been 30 years waiting for that to happen. In case it's ready to go, it could be 700 to 800 units of technically market rate housing, but given the neighborhood, we anticipate it would also meet the affordable standards, but we're doing it without any introduction from any support from the government in terms of funding at this point. And these properties, these buildings, because of their nature and their history, would not be demolished. Frankly, we can't for all sorts of environmental reasons, but would be adapted in place. And so the idea for this part of the campus is to adapt them in place. We are specifically not addressing the part of the campus that is south of Hunting Park because Councilwoman Bass has asked us to go through some other process with that with her. So that will be subject to another, presumably about a year from now, we'll be back with that once we've worked through the part that's in her district with Councilmember Bass and her constituents.
Thank you, Kevin. Hopefully, Commissioner, that was helpful for you.
I think also I wanted to ask, what engagement have you had with the community? I mean, there are a lot of things, it seems like they're in planning, but not very specific to the site. And I know how development works, but if you can speak to how you have been communicating with the community as to the plans that are being proposed.
So we've had a couple of public meetings, for lack of a better term, not technically a public meeting, but sort of open meetings over the past several years. We've worked with our state and federal and local elected officials. The part of the campus we're talking about here, north of Hunting Park, has no residential neighbors. It backs up to the Croc Center and Philly Youth Basketball, who we've been engaged with on one side. It backs up to an industrial user on the north side, which is a DNA storage facility. It is across the street from the Brown ShopRite and that supermarket on the other side. And then across Hunting Park are other properties that are owned by the same team that are just in the other district. So we've got no immediate neighbors for this project. As I said, the building that's all the way at the corner of Wissahickon does have neighbors that are sort of catty corner on an angled street south of Hunting Park, but because of the way the grade runs at that location, it's not really any immediate neighbors. We have spoken with the councilman and Councilwoman Bass, and we anticipate doing something with those immediate neighbors probably in the fall once Councilwoman Bass, who represents them, engages with Councilman Jones, who represents the property at that corner.
Director Hall, can you get a question?
Yeah, can you describe on the site where you're considering putting residential?
So the one that the market that the O'Neills looked at in the 1990s and the market seems to want to do is the corner of Hunting Park and Wissahickon, that large 5-6 story building that basically goes from the SEPTA Chestnut Hill West track to Wissahickon.
So to
On
be
the north
closer
side
to
of
where
it is
existing-
the Croc Center. On the south side of it is Hunting Park, which is sort of a blank wall across the street. We need to energize that, and that's part of the dynamic. And across Wissahickon is the SEPTA facility.
Thank you.
Commissioner Brown, do you have a question? Are you okay?
Yes, so I just want to make sure I understand like this particular proposal. We're gonna rezone the whole thing, however, there's not a specific development about to happen for this particular site. This is just to make it easy to provide opportunities for a respective developer to come in.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's allowing for some flexibility on what the scope and scale could be.
Okay.
Yeah, it's primarily for use. We will not be changing for environmental reasons, we can't really change the boundaries and the shape of these buildings. And so the reality of it is it's for adaptive reuse within the buildings. We want to be clearer on some of the uses.
And also, to a point that was kind of made earlier, the south side, that portion that's not included in this, it's actually zone CMX3 already, right? So I think there's
Correct.
congruence that folks are just trying to anticipate on as well.
We do anticipate coming back. If you look in the middle of that sort of U-shaped building at the bottom of the highlighted area, our architect's vision for the property is for that to become a parking complex that services the rest of the campus eventually. We will need to come back for that because that is a SP zone use, and we will deal with that when that's a reality. We don't want to ask you to do anything now that is too far in advance. By doing that, it would allow us to develop the parking lot that is across Hunting Park and not really shown at the bottom of that image in front of you. But again, that's all for subsequent action, but we're trying to be as transparent as possible.
Thanks, Kevin. Any more questions from the commissioners?
There's one other thing I forgot to mention, if I would, which is it is our hope we need to get federal funding involved and federal approval is to reactivate the SEPTA station that was at Hunting Park. We would move it to just north of Hunting Park, between those two buildings, sort of in the middle of this right now. That is our hope. But again, that's going to be a federal issue for the next congressman up there.
Understood. Thank you for that context. Commissioners, are we good? Seeing no more questions. Do we have any questions from the audience? Nate, do we have anybody online?
Chair, we have no hands raised.
All right. Getting back to staff recommendation for approval for zoning bill number 260523. Is there a motion to accept the staff's recommendation for approval of the zoning bill?
I make a motion to accept staff recommendation for approval of the zoning bill.
We have a motion from Commissioner Gonzalez. Is there a second?
Second.
Properly seconded by Commissioner Clinton. I'll now poll. Commissioner Clinton?
Aye.
Commissioner Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Threet? Commissioner Wilson? Aye. Commissioner Gonzalez?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much, Nathan. Next item up is the final item on the agenda, which is zoning bill number 260534, and that will be presented by Camilla.
Good afternoon. I'm Camilla Zendia, use they, them pronouns, and I'm the River Wards District Planner. Bill number 260534 amends the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Kensington Avenue, Clearfield Street, Tulip Street, and Lehigh Avenue in the Port Richmond neighborhood. This is an administrative request introduced by Councilmember Squilla. This bill proposes to change the zoning for 3 properties in 2 locations, 2787 Emerald Street, 2730 Frankfurt Avenue, and 2010 Somerset Street, all outlined in yellow on this map. This remapping supports the development of the parcels through the Turn the Key program by addressing zoning barriers. The sites are part of a larger development package for approximately 20 affordable homeownership units. However, these properties were the only ones that were improperly zoned for residential use. In the top right of this map, you will see 2787 Emerald Street and 2010 Somerset Street, currently zoned ICMX Industrial Commercial Mixed Use and CMX2 Commercial Mixed Use, respectively. Along the Lehigh Viaduct, 2730 Frankfurt Ave is currently zoned I2 Medium Industrial. This bill proposes 2787 Emerald Street and 2010 Somerset Street be rezoned to RSA 5 residential single-family zoning, and 2730 Frankfurt Ave be rezoned to RM1 residential multifamily zoning. Zooming into two of the three properties, 2787 Emerald Street is currently vacant and a potential turn-the-key property. 20110 Somerset Street is an attached residential home. While it is not part of the turn-the-key development package, it is being remapped to reflect the current land use and correspond to the neighboring RSA 5 district to the north. Again, here's a closer look of the existing zoning. And here's the proposed zoning. Zooming into the third property, 2730 Frankfurt Ave is currently vacant and a potential turn-the-key property. Again, the existing zoning district is I2 medium industrial, but the parcel is sized for attached housing and has a history of use as a row home property prior to its current vacancy. And the proposed zoning is RM1 residential multifamily. This legislation is consistent with several provisions of the comprehensive plan. Specifically, the citywide vision has several recommendations for promoting housing opportunities, repositioning former industrial sites for new users, and repurposing vacant land. This legislation is also consistent with the Housing Opportunities Made Easy plan to increase the city's supply of housing by investing in and expanding the Turn the Key program. Staff notes that this bill was originally introduced without maps to meet an introduction deadline, and the maps were amended at the Rules Committee on June 3rd, 2026. Staff recommendation is for approval with amendments.
Thank you, Camilla. And just to be clear, those amendments are the maps you just described.
Correct.
All right. So, Commissioners, we have a staff recommendation for the approval of zoning bill number 26053 with those referenced amendments. Are there any questions on the staff recommendation as presented? All right, seeing none, are there any questions from the audience in attendance on this recommendation? Also seeing none, Nate, do we have anybody online?
Chair, we have no hands raised.
Good. All right. Well, folks, again, we have staff recommendation for approval with those amendments. Is there a motion to accept staff recommendation as presented here today?
I make a motion to accept staff recommendation for approval of zoning bill 26053 with amendments.
We have a motion from Commissioner Gonzalez.
Second.
Is there a second, properly seconded by Commissioner Brown. I'll now poll. Commissioner Clinton,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Threet, Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much, Camilla.
Thank you, Commissioners.
And that concludes our agenda today. Is there any old business or new business worth sharing or uplifting today? Pretty different from last month, huh?
Yes.
All right, with that said, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you very much, everybody.